We're going to be looking at the 9 worst types of Battlefield 1 players. I wanted to start this one off with the medic that doesn't medic. I don't know how many times I've seen this happen, but every time you die, you have a medic that's like 1 meter away from you, and this makes me so angry, but at the same time, like, you can't really do much and this person isn't going to do anything else. The second one I wanted to share is the sport that doesn't support. Now, I don't know if this happens to a lot of you guys, but eventually if you're doing a good streak and you haven't died yet, you start running out of ammo, and either if you don't have a support, you end up picking a weapon off the ground, and that weapon off the ground is probably not going to be the weapon you expected it to be, and it just basically screws you over. The other one I wanted to do is also a scout not being a scout. So a lot of these go through sort of a role not playing a role, but the scout not being a scout is just doesn't really work out at all, since a scout is supposed to be laid back, spotting enemies for the team, but usually some of them just end up going at you or being aggressive, and that's just not what you want to do, and at all. For number 4, it's the squad that has 4 assaults but no medic. This actually happens a lot, and I have to end up switching to medic or support, because those are 2 that you actually really do need in a squad. But having no medic is just an entire squad basically going at 1 life, and if they die, we basically lose an objective or something like that. So having a medic is super crucial for something like that. The squad leader that doesn't direct orders. Now, a lot of you guys don't even follow the squad leaders. I don't really see how squad leaders do have a sort of a commanding stance or figure, but having this squad leader actually pointing out objectives do help some players, and I feel that if they do it more often, then it would be so much more easier, especially since they give you XP for being a squad leader. So I don't know why they wouldn't do it, but that's probably one of the worst. The assault player that do bros through the battlefield. So this happens a lot, and it's like they don't even play the objective, and most of the time they just go through, guns blazing and trying to get as many kills as possible, and usually leaving your team behind, and you're basically playing assault class, so you can't really help anyone at this point. So okay, this is probably one of my favorite ones. It's the player that snatched the plane classes without knowing how to control the plane. Now, I've got myself waiting for an airplane. I'm not gonna lie, I've done it before, but that's because I've really wanted an airplane and I haven't flown it in a long time. And this player is just gets into the plane but has no clue how to fly it, and either crashes it into a building or just jumps out of it, and it makes me so angry whenever you're trying to fly a plane, or at least how to. So we actually talked about this one earlier. So it's the conquest player that doesn't care about the objectives. This sort of gets on my nerves, but it's like if there's a lot of them, then that's when it's a problem. But if it's like one, it's all right. But sometimes one person can make a big difference. And if you guys don't get that objective, sometimes I find myself taking the objectives myself with nobody around. And this, could be the turning point of the game if you don't, care about the objectives. This happens a lot, though. You see a lot of people just don't care at all, and teammates just don't help. The 9th one that we're going to be talking about is the squad that doesn't play as a squad. This is just one of those Battlefield 1 aspects of the game. The squad that doesn't play as a squad, you're always spawning on each other, right? Sometimes you see it in some games, sometimes you don't. But the thing is that when you're not playing, if you're playing just an online game, then you're gonna find yourself not playing as a squad as much. You can talk and chat, but most of the time they won't listen to you at all. So I think it's just better to stick with your squad. You have a better chance of winning the game. You have a better chance of getting a higher KD in that game or getting more kills. So anyways, guys, that's going to be the end of the video. Link in the description of the source that I used. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll talk to you guys later.